guys, welcome back to my channel again. So today we're going to talk about global warming. What are the causes, effects, and how we can prevent it, right? So what is global warming? This thing refers to the rise in global temperatures due mainly to increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Now, before we go any further, what is greenhouse gases? What are they? These are gases that contribute to the greenhouse effect by absorbing infrared radiation, carbon dioxide, and chlorofluorocarbons. It's called chlorofluorocarbons. Are examples of greenhouse gases. So carbon dioxide is one of them, and then we have like absorb infrared radiations and stuff like that. So that is the greenhouse gases. Now this causes climate change by increasing changes in the measures of climate over a long period of time, including precipitation, temperature, and the wind patterns. Let me repeat that again. Global warming refers to the rise in global temperature due mainly to the increasing concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Okay, so what are the causes? Let's go to one: generating power, electricity that we use. Sometimes people use coal to generate this electricity. That's one cause of greenhouse gas. And let's repeat again: generating power, generating electricity and heat by burning fossil fuels causes a large chunk of global emissions. So you buy this thing, fossil fuel, that's what it is about. Another cause is manufacturing of goods, cutting down forests, using transportations. This all involves emissions, producing food, consuming buildings, powering buildings and stuff like that. So how can global warming be? Before we go to global warming, so we know that global warming simply refers to the rise of temperature in the atmosphere. That's what global warming is. Now, before we go to so guys, I put down some points which I'm trying to pass across to you. So why is global warming a problem? Why is it a problem? Global warming can result in many serious alterations to the environment, eventually impacting human health. It can also cause a rise in sea level. We know that the glaciers in the Arctic polar regions is melting, and the sea level is rising. That will affect the people who live along the coastal lines. The land, they have to move from there because water will simply move there. Sorry. Yeah, it's not something laughing matter, it's serious. Eventually impacting human health. It can also cause a rise in sea level, that's what I've told you, leading to the loss of coastal land. A change in precipitation patterns. When air condenses up there, then gravity works on it because it becomes a weighty thing. When it's vapor, it can float up there nicely. Once it condenses, then gravity takes over. It has to pull it down. So it comes down in form of rain water. So that's what we call precipitation. So a change in precipitation pattern, increased risk of drought. We've heard of drought, animals dying, forest fires, and then we have floods taking place, tsunamis, okay, and threats to biodiversity also. Yeah. So this is what global warming can lead to. Now, what will happen? What will happen if this global warming continues? Now, the future changes are expected to include, we'll have warmer atmosphere, which is warmer. So a warmer and more acidic oceans, higher sea levels, and large changes in precipitation patterns. Okay, the extent of future climate change will depend what we do now to reduce these greenhouse gases emissions. So the more we emit, the larger the future changes will be. So you see, it's an existential threat. Existence of man, animals is under threat with this global warming. So man has to do something. We have to do something, do something very quickly. You know, the planet, our Earth, our Mother Earth, is all we have. It keeps us, and this Earth can turn very, very ferocious. Nature is the largest. It can turn very, very dangerous when it reaches a certain level. It can lead to mass extinctions. When you hear of hurricanes and tornadoes sweeping over places, forest fires like California or in Africa or wherever, the ice melting, coral reef eroding, where most of these algae and these things are healthy for the fish, the marine lives. If they go, then the marine life is also in danger. So global warming is quite an existential threat. Now, we talked about the causes. Before we go to how we can reduce this, I want us to talk a bit about how these things, for example, manufacturing goods, contributes. Because you can understand, when we are manufacturing, we are using oil, we are using electricity, and how is this electricity generated? Through coal burning, or coal, or fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? This is a fuel that was, which was, through animals or whatever that died many years, millions of years, that's deposited down there, and now it's extracted. So this oil, when you burn it, causes the greenhouse gases. So manufacturing of goods can produce a lot of greenhouse gases. All types of goods you can imagine, from everything. Just think about manufacturing involves some kind of power usage. Power has to be used for something to be produced, and this power, unless it's solar and wind, okay, by the way, I'm getting ahead, it will emit fossil greenhouse gases. So cutting down of forest, how forests can absorb what trees do. They absorb carbon dioxide, and they produce oxygen and all that. So when you're cutting down the trees, then you're contributing to global warming. Transportation modes, we're using what kind of fuel we use in our vehicles. When you're moving around, it emits carbon monoxide, or it's pollution, and in short, it's pollutant. And this one is also can contribute a lot to global warming. Transportation, of goods, of services, of people, all manners and kinds of transport systems that we have. So producing food also, when you are making these foods, power. Anyway, the whole thing comes down to power. We are using power to do all these things, and this power, how is it generated? That's where pollution comes in. That's where greenhouse gases comes in. In our buildings, of course, you have electricity running there, the grid, so powering houses and stuff like that. Consuming too much. Consuming doesn't mean eating only, like your cell phones, your everything, music or gadgets, all that. We keep on buying new models, we know that all these things have to be produced, and the greenhouse gases are being emitted in the process. Why not use the same thing and recycle it again, instead of buying new? Okay, you can say the industries have to make money, they have to make profit at the expense of what? What if one day the planet says enough is enough? So what do you do next? You don't have another planet to move to. Mars cannot sustain you. Jupiter, Globon, there's nowhere else, you know. Just you die like flies. So how can global warming be reduced? So we have to save energy, which you use at home. Much our electricity and heat are powered by coal and oil and gas. I told you that this oil and gas is what's deposited, actually dug from down there. You know where oil comes from and gas. So we reduce, we save energy. Another way is to change your home source of energy, maybe to solar, from using the electricity. You try to take a bike or take public transport. Don't use your cars all the time. You switch to an electric car. Don't use the one that's using petrol. Electric cars are now available. You can buy one. You can afford it and try to help the planet. You are traveling. You can that one is subject to some, consider your travels, reduce or reuse, repair and recycle is what I told you. Eat more vegetables because of field land, non-veg. They can be, when you deposit them somewhere, they emit methane, and methane is a very good source of greenhouse gases. And throw away less food. Okay, this is what I told you about methane. To reduce carbon footprint. Yeah. So this is what global warming is. It is a problem. It's an existential threat. And I think people are paying more lip service than action, really. Greed is guiding man, Man is guided by greed. But what's the point? You make all the money and make all the high-tech industries and so on, only to be destroyed one time when things get out of hand. You see what the tsunami did. That's just a tip. That's an example of how nature can be ferocious when it's provoked too much. We know the ozone layer is wearing off. Yeah, a big hole is developing up there, which will lead to ultraviolet rays or ultraviolet radiation reaching down and causing a lot of cancer. Because ozone is what prevents you. It's a cover, it covers you. And this greenhouse gases is eating at ozone. A big hole was detected developing up in space and letting the ultraviolet get down here, and does cause mayhem, havoc, kill, cancer and all that. So we can do something. It's not too late. It's late, but you can reduce the rate at which the emissions are being thrown up there. And I didn't take the statistics about the increment of temperature, but it was like 0.3 something, increasing gradually year by year. So maybe if I do the second part of this video, I'll give you the real statistics, how the global warming is impacting life and how it's increasing at what rate. But for today, I'll stop it there, and hope to see you again. Please like, share and comment as I bring you more materials. Let's participate in this debate. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share. Bye.